What's up, guys? Welcome to part 2 of the timing kit replacement for the Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. If you guys haven't seen episode 1 where we take apart all the timing components, I'll go ahead and link it right here in the corner for you guys to check out first. After you're done with that video, come back to this one because on this episode we're going to focus on putting all the timing components back on and hopefully get this thing running. So the first step is we're actually going to head out to the hardware store because we are going to be doing the washer mod for the OEM tensioner. So here we have the OEM tensioner, part number MD319040. Here we have the tensioner. There's a big washer mod that the 3S guys do. So I did get a 1/4 inch diameter opening washer, around 1/16 inch thick, but as you guys can see, it moves around. So I think the purpose of the washer itself is once you release this pin, this rod here goes up and down once you're driving. You kind of want it to imitate that of a solid tensioner, which is basically when it goes up, it kind of stays still, so that there's no slack in the tensioner, and therefore you won't have a loose belt. But since I did notice that this washer was too loose, we do have this one with a much smaller diameter, but as you guys can see, it doesn't quite fit flush. So we're gonna go ahead and drill a slightly bigger hole so that it sits in there extremely flush. What size drill bit was that?
1/4 inch.
1/4 inch.
There you go.
You still want to put RTV?
So the forum was saying to put RTV so it doesn't move. Do you think we should or not?
Yeah.
There you go. Washer mod complete. Here we have some of the parts. You are gonna have to go ahead, take this off so that you can run this one. The kit did come with a new bolt, which I'm assuming is what this one is. So this goes here. This has a bolt here. Running the Gate T195 belt. Last video, you guys know we installed the water pump, and we have this pulley on this side. This is the tensioner pulley, which you have to put back on.
You gotta make sure that that arm is in front and resting on that piston.
17 foot-pounds for the tensioner.
The tensioner. 42 foot-pounds for the
Tensioner pulley. The actual bolt on the.
to the right.
Okay, so 17 for the tensioner, and then 42 foot-pounds for the tensioner pulley. 17. Okay. What do you think of Gates timing belts? All
I'm a
right.
big fan of Gates.
You are a big fan? Okay. And this is the only non-OEM part of this whole kit. I really got to get these corners fixed too. They're pretty messed up. And get them re-cleared. Look at that. And overall, just a better detail in the engine bay. It's probably the ugliest part in the car. Look at this surface rust. This is bad. So we had a piece here last episode, and it's no longer here, and the cam gears did move just for the front, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys can see the piece in the back, but we don't know where the other cam locker went. Look at this, just randomly sitting.
Okay. Just gotta go in even. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Probably put it in a little bit so it doesn't come out this time.
Yeah,
Did it
that's
move?
what it was. It did move.
It's not staying in there.
Maybe it's because of the material that was used, or maybe it just needs to be a little bit bigger. So,
Oh shit, you good? My bad. I totally let that go. Did I get your finger? No.
spice.
What does that do? It just holds it in place?
This is supposed to hold brake lines.
Oh wow.
When you're doing brake lines, you're supposed to basically close it off so you don't spill a bunch of brake fluid, but I use it for
timing
belts.
Gotcha.
For jobs that don't want to cooperate.
Left cam gear, underwater pump, top of right cam gears, goes down above the idler pulley that you guys see there. Once you go through that, you go back down to the crank sprocket. Okay, so before we proceed, I did want to mention this timing mark right here that you guys see at the 1 o'clock position. That technically has to line up with the timing mark that I'm pointing at there. So as you guys can see, it is 1 tooth off counterclockwise. Once you have it that way, you set the belts, and after you put tension on the belts, the timing marks should line up with the crank, and then from there you go ahead and tighten that tension or pulley bolt to 42 foot-pounds. And then we are going to be using this tool here to turn the tensioner pulley.
So you should see the crank pulley moving.
There you go. Bam. Give it a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's it. It lines up on this side. Yeah.
Yeah. I looked at this one. The blue mark on the back.
Yeah.
The two back there.
Lines up.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Alright. Timing is done. It comes down to putting all of this stuff in reverse order. So I did have to look back at the old video, and I think the motor mount bracket is next. How do you feel about 3000 GTs now that you did this? What do you do it again?
Basuda.
Can the local 3000 GT guys come out here and get their timing belt done with you or what?
You're not gonna like the price.
I mean, I feel like that's how it is for any mechanic when it comes to working on these things. They're a hassle to work on, so that's where they get expensive.
Yeah.
That's the crank position sensor.
Yeah.
So there's a sensor that's coming down from the crank, and it's feeding up through basically behind the cam gears that you have to basically feed through the back here. It's kind of weird. Right there. Yeah, we could do this at the end, because I still gotta tighten the spark plugs, put the wires, plant them. I ordered the motor mount. Alright, so far we have this, and the timing service will be done. Yep. You got the big guy. This pulley, crank pulley. That guy over there, we still have to install the accessory belts, but that is pretty much how you put the timing kit back on. We do have to leave because it's late and Aaron's girlfriend's making guac, so he was in a rush. So back on the following video, we're basically gonna focus on installing the accessory belts, checking over everything, putting the spark plugs back on, the wires, putting the plenum back on. I do plan on upgrading to a Walbro 450, right? 450 fuel pump, because the one I have on right now is a Walbro 255, but it is a replica, and I just want to make sure that the car is running perfectly fine. So once we have all that done, we'll go ahead and do its first startup. And then from there we can finally drive it home and see how it runs. So I hope you guys got some value out of the timing belt service. It is a little bit complex, but if you guys do need it, Aaron does officially, even though he doesn't want to, offer timing belt or any service for the 3000 GT guys. I know out here in SoCal there's not really too many people that actually work on these. So if you do have one, feel free to hit him up on Instagram. I'll go ahead and post his Instagram right here in the corner. Other than that, I'll go ahead and let you guys go here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on next week's video.